Hi, welcome to another episode of the African Time. My name is Vidashi. What recently see this? Well, it was recently shared and says President Cyril Ramaphosa has declared the economy to be in a state of emergency, calling for urgent coordinated action to drive inclusive growth and industrialization. Well, see this.
Identified some of the key actions that we need to take as this leadership to renew and to build our organization with a view of taking this country forward. We dedicated time to discuss the state of our economy and the actions that we need to take to drive inclusive growth and job creation. We also characterize the state of our economy as being in a state of emergency that requires drastic action. Our focus on an inclusive and resilient economy is particularly important as we begin this month of August, Women's Month. The financial and economic inclusion of women is vital to the empowerment of women in our country with a view of achieving gender equality, and is also central to our efforts to tackle poverty and also to advance the interests of all people in our country, especially women. Our discussion on the economy focused on the actions that we need to take to give effect to the strategic priority of inclusive growth and job creation as clearly contained in the medium-term development plan adopted by the government of our country. We have reaffirmed that industrial policy must be the leading instrument of economic development and transformation, which will in turn help to shape our trade policy. For this industrial policy to succeed, we need an all-of-government approach. As the representation from the Economic Transformation Committee, a subcommittee of the National Executive Committee, noted, this requires coordinated alignment across multiple centers of state power, not just trade and industry and competition, but also energy and electricity, transport, water, agriculture, land reform, rural development, public works and infrastructure, public enterprises, mining, higher education, science and innovation, petroleum, finance, as well as labor. We noted that our network industries need to be efficient.
Okay, so that is what you have watched right now. Is the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, actually calling or declaring the South African economy as to be in a state of emergency, meaning that the economy needs serious savings, and that is saying that it is calling for urgent coordinated actions to drive inclusive growth and industrialization. So as South African, wherever you are watching this, the South African economy needs you guys, and you need to right now reinvest in your economy, your country, help mobilize in all aspects of the economy that you can help. It's about time you need to do your best to save it, because man is saying that the economy is in a state of emergency. As South African, what do you see this to be? And do you have any other alternatives or plan that can help with this economy issues and that can get SA back on its track? At the comment section, we're actually hoping to see that, and hopefully the right authorities can notice and notify, then they can actually put them into places, okay? So feel free to share your point and views. Well, man came and says, Cyril Ramaphosa and ANC are the engineers of the decline of the economy. They are in a marathon competing amongst themselves as to who can steal the state resources better than the other. As long as the ANC is in charge of the government, the economy will continue to decline. Whoa. Okay, so mine is basically saying that the ANC are the engineers, or they are actually the campaign or the reasons why the economy is actually declining. He's saying that the ministers and the governments are actually themselves competing to notice who steals a lot from the South African public purse. Well, bro, that's a serious allegation there. Well, man is saying the economy has been in a state of emergency since well before COVID-19. Virtually stagnant against annual population growth of around 1.5 to 1.6% and worsening unemployment and poverty. Well, that is a more critical aspect to the issue, and man has actually enlightened us and saying that the South African economy have been retrogressing since COVID-19 times, and he's saying that it still needs serious reforms and a serious savings. Well, again, this is saying that only if he could say the same about illegal immigration. Okay, man is actually hoping that they can state a state of emergency concerning the illegal immigrants in the South African country. And then again, this one is saying that it is not the economy, it is the people issuing policies that kill the economy. So man is saying that basically it's not about the economy, it's actually the people who are leading the economy and issuing some basic policies that he thinks that is most of the reason why the South African economy is facing such a desirable declination. And lastly, man is saying that a state of emergency is a perfect time to do things without following the steps that all South Africans struggle with. Example, COVID-19 state of emergency, millions were being paid to companies connected to the politicians without any work being done, no time to tender, just vibes. So man is saying that this state of emergency is actually the right tool that they need to do more of the so-called or in quote corruption that is happening in South African governance. He's saying that with the state of emergency, they are allowed to do certain things or sign certain deals that is actually not to be followed by the right processes. So mine is saying that these guys are up to something. Well, you too, my friend, can share a point of view about this, and let's see what your takes are and how you see this to be. The name is Vitashi, and we are talking about how South Africa's president Cyril Ramaphosa actually is issuing a state of emergency to save the South African economy. Thank you.